Hey everyone, it's Matt Williams from Williams & Gray and welcome to this episode of Brand You. In this episode, we're going to be talking about pillar content and how to use one piece of content, use your time effectively and turn that into content that can last you for days, weeks, or maybe even a month. Hey everyone, it's Matt Williams and welcome to this episode. Now, this is a question that we get asked all the time and it's actually a really relevant one. You know, we're all as small to medium kind of business owners, as entrepreneurs, one of the things that we are kind of generally very poor on is time. We're very time poor. And one of the things that creates is that, you know, we're saying you need to get yourself branded, you need to create a personal brand, you need to get yourself out there. And the way to do so is to create content. And it's one of those things where we get it stuffed down our throats all the time that content is king. And whilst that is true, how do we set aside the time to be able to create the content to kind of tell the world about who we are, what we've got to bring to them and how we can help them? Well, actually, there are a few tricks that we employ and a lot of people in all of the businesses that we've used these systems in always say, how on earth are you able to build and grow these successful businesses, a number of successful businesses? How can you also tell other people how these things kind of should be done and then create additional content on top of that to help those people who are helping those people who are trying to help those people to grow their business? Now, there's actually a trick that we employ behind this and it's, you know, fairly effective, I would suggest. Now, everyone talks about starting off on blogs, and that is, I would suggest, one of the most effective uses of your time, if that's something you can do. But then we find that some people can't write particularly well. Some people prefer to talk, but not go on a camera maybe. So it might be that their platform of choice is a podcast. It may be that, like myself, you know, you're more than happy now, and I wasn't at first, to be on camera. And that all makes sense. So what you need to do is work out what your pillar piece of content is going to be. And what we suggest is coming up with 100 questions within your target market that your ideal clients would be typing into Google. Write them down in a spreadsheet exactly as they would type them in, you know, literally word for word. How do I create a personal brand? ? Write those down in a spreadsheet. Once you've got 100, then boil those down into the 20 questions which you think get asked more often than others, or you think, alternatively, that you could make a better piece of content on. Then when you've got those 20 pieces of content, break those down, start, you know, bullet listing each one of those so that you've got some things that you can talk about, and whether that's the written word, whether that's a podcast eventually, whether that's on the camera, make a piece of content that answers that question and really helps you therefore engage with your audience. Again, all of this is about getting known, liked and trusted. It's about creating the noise, but it's about you being the problem to someone's, the solution, should I say, to someone's problem. And if you are that solution, eventually they are going to find you. Your target audience is going to find you. And when they've found you, you've got the content in place that answers their questions and makes you the authority. Again, it comes back down to that word again. It's about becoming the authority in your niche. Now, pillar content then. What do we mean by pillar content? How can we make a piece of content last us again and again and again? And it's actually really simple. What you want to do is create your pillar content. So for us, it's going to be this piece of content here, for example. And from this YouTube video, yes, it will go out on our primary platform. It's going to go out on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching there, then hi, it's great to see you. Don't forget to like the video if you do, give us a thumbs up, it really helps. And subscribe to the channel, press the bell button next to the subscribe icon if you haven't already. But what we're then going to do is break this video down into, you know, say it's 6 or 7, 8 minutes long. We'll break it down into maybe 5 or 6, maybe 10 if we can, little tidbits of information, 45-seconders that can go out onto LinkedIn. We'll break it down into a couple of bits and pieces that can go onto Instagram as well. I might even transcribe it using a service like rev.com. I'll drop a link to that down in the description below, whereby the transcription can then become the blog post. We'll also get one of our sound guys to take this content and put it onto a podcast. So all of a sudden you can see how just from one piece of pillar content, one main piece of content, we're then able to repurpose it again and again and again. And by using a piece of social media scheduling software, we tend to use Sendable. Again, link to that down in the description. It's really powerful, it's really useful. Then we can schedule content to go out all hours of the day, all days of the week. And actually, do you know what? Content like this, kind of evergreen content as we call it, which people may be looking at in a year's time, 3 years' time, 5 years' time, it doesn't matter, because it's about building a personal brand. It doesn't time out. It's not, talking about the Tesla Cybertruck that came out a couple of days ago, which actually people probably won't be looking for videos on in a few days' time, or even a few months' time, should I say. It's evergreen content. So if you can find evergreen content that you can create a piece of pillar content, a piece of core content from, break that down into pieces of micro content for each of the different platforms which you're on, then you're winning. You are saving your time, you're saving yourself lots of effort, and actually increasing the amount of noise you can generate, increasing the number of people who you can put your content in front of. The more people who know about you, the more people who get to know, like, and trust you, will help to build your authority in your chosen niche, build your personal brand exponentially, and hopefully exponentially grow your business. I hope that short one was useful. I've been Matt Williams. Now go and brand yourself.